All right, Grand Rising to you. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining. Good morning to you. Got a very interesting topic today here on the Black Money and Power Show. Black Money and Power Show is returning today, and I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. How many guys actually? It's a holiday today. How many guys actually are off work? Are you actually going to work? I think banks are closed. Schools probably closed. I don't know. And some of you guys don't have to work, but many guys do. Like it's a observed holiday, but not really a national holiday where you don't have to work. I don't know. Anyway, New Black Wall Street, man, is presenting to you guys the Black Money and Power Show. We're going to be talking about sex and money today. That's one of the topics we'll talk about. Also, church exploitation is going to be wrapped today. I was going to do something a little different. We haven't looked at the market and stuff, but I'll say that for tomorrow because I got some stuff I want to talk about. So I figured tonight, today, this morning, Monday morning, it's Monday. Great day to talk about, great day to be alive, and great day to talk about money. And so, guys, just excuse me for a second. Looks like my glasses kind of broke. So I'll be going to go get some new glasses today and fixing them or something like that. So can't make too many movement without the thing popping out, but we're gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through tonight, today, right? So we're gonna start our money quote. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Still setting up the show, man. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. Like and share if you care. Black folk talking about money in the morning here on the Black Money and Power Show. Man, it's great to be back. Haven't been around a while, but it's time to get this show on the road, guys. Let me go ahead and find that music, Mr. DJ, so we get this thing crack-a-lacking. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning on the new Black Wall Street as we present the Black Money and Power Show. That's right, we're back, man. Black Money and Power is all about talking about money or economics, and then also power, which is politics as well, because economics is really about the cash flow. Politics is about the cash rules, and I think we need to understand both of them. Now, both of those two subjects are subjects that we as Black people typically don't talk about. We don't talk about money, and we don't talk about politics, but this is very, very important for us to understand in this society that we live called America, for those that live in America and abroad as well, because I'm sure in whatever country that you're in, that you live in, there's going to be the topic of discussion, or there's going to be an area where economics and politics is discussed, how your country is run, how cash flow moves about in the system. So I decided that we're going to talk about it. And I know that many people are going to run from the conversation because then that's just not, let's be honest, it's just not a comfortable thing to discuss. We've been conditioned our whole life not to talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it this morning, man. Thanks so much for joining. While you guys are connected, man, go and let us know where you're connected from, what city, what state, what country as well. Because I realize that we're broadcasting across the World Wide Web, and you could be anywhere. Yeah, that's right. You could be anywhere. So today's topic is going to be the sex and money exchange. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. That's right, man. Let us know where you're connected from, man. Good morning to you. Miss Vivian Reed is up in the house. Thanks so much for joining, Miss Mary Jefferson. Mary. Why you bugging? Miss Selena's up in the house as well, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street, the Black Money and Power Show. Fantastic, man. And so I wanted to start today, guys. With our money quote of today to give us something to really think about as we get into today's topic as well. Thanks so much for joining Jay's Beauty. Thanks so much for joining. As we get to today's topic, first I want to let you guys know, we got to talk about our sponsor. We got so many things to do. Lord Jesus. So for those that don't know, I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. That's right. It's a study of Black wealth, that book. That book there is a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. Everybody put in comments, so if. That's a big if. If you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. I'd also say this, if you want your business to be successful, if that's what you do, you run a business, then I suggest that you study successful businesses. It only makes sense, right? That where your attention goes, then you begin to grow, right? So what I found was that many people say they want something, but they're not willing to study. Everybody put it down, so study. They want something, but they're not willing to study. And I'll tell you the main reason why you don't have the success that you like to have out of life, because you refuse to study. You refuse to study. It's like, oh, I graduated high school or college and I no longer study anymore. I graduated high school or college and I no longer go to class anymore. How many guys know that every day is a class in session? Every day is a class in session. That's right. Every day is a class in session. Well, guys, you can pick up that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's right, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That book is available, hard copy, ebook, audiobook coming soon. Also available in French from our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. So no excuse other than you just don't want to. That's just what it is. No excuse other than you just don't want to. Today's sponsor, guys. That's right, we got a sponsor. Today's sponsor, ERGJ Black Bazaar. I want to say thanks so much to the Afrocentric Marketplace, where they specialize in black art, Afrocentric home decor, black art inspired gifts, and also personal care products. And when you go to the website at www.ergjblackbazaar.com, go ahead and check out the new arrivals, okay? www.ergjblackbazaar.com. Check out the new arrivals. You'll see that they got black art inspired aprons, oven mitts, traveler mugs, everything about black art. And they got about 6-7 pages there as well. The new black packs are out as well. So go ahead and check them out at www.ergjblackbazaar.com, www.ergjblackbazaar.com. All right, fantastic, man. Let's get right into this conversation this morning. So our money quote of the day, our money quote of the day comes from none other than one of my virtual mentors, Mr. Warren Buffett. Now, Mr. Warren Buffett is the third richest man in the world. That's right. So I study wealth of people. He's the third richest man in the world. And he says this. Let me see if I can find it. If you don't, I gotta remember how to say it correctly. Okay, here we go. So if you don't learn, right, how to earn money or how to make money while you sleep, then you will work until you die. Let me repeat that again for the people in the back. Our money quote of the day from Warren Buffett. You're gonna hear a lot of Warren Buffett quotes from me, by the way, because he's a rich man. He's done it through investing, and so I listen to what he says. Anyway, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, then you will work until you die. Now I want you to think about this for a second. How many guys want to work until you die? Most of us don't. Most of us want to retire at some point, right? We want to retire. But we have to understand what retirement is. What really is retirement? Retirement is not an age. Retirement is a number. Let me repeat that again. Y'all didn't get that. Okay, y'all gonna learn today. Retirement isn't an age. Retirement is a number. Retirement is an amount. Retirement is about how much you got in your bank account. Think about that for a second. There are many that we know who get to that magical age of 65, but they've never saved a day in their life, and they can't retire because they can't afford to retire. There's others who get to a early age, 40, 50 years old, and they look at their bank account and said, I don't need to go punch a clock another day in my life, and they retire early. Why? Because they got enough money. They can afford to retire early. Everybody put a comment on afford. So ask yourself, will you be able to afford to retire when you want to? Whatever number, whatever age that might be. Will you be able to afford? Now, of course, that means that you look at where you are right now. You look at where you're going with your habits of money, with your management of money, and ask yourself the trajectory that I'm going on right now. Will I be able to retire? Will I be able to afford to retire when I want to? See, when we start talking about money, we lose a lot of people, right? Because it's a very difficult conversation to have. Will you be able to afford to retire at the age that you want? Great question to ask. Now, Mr. Warren Buffett says like this: if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep. So this means that when you woke up today, when you went to bed last night, when you woke up today, how many guys actually made some money? What about the day before when you went to bed and you woke up? How many guys actually made some money while you sleep? Are you making money while you sleep? Is your money working for you while you sleep? Or is the only time that you actually earn income is when during your working hours where you go punch a clock? Now, this is not ERGJ saying this. This is the third richest man in the world who's simply saying to people who are willing to listen, because everybody don't want to listen, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, then you will work until you die. Now, some of us in the black community will say, hey, that's slavish talk. That's the slave mentality. Well, I would tell you that's a voluntary slave mentality. Because because you won't discipline yourself, because you won't learn what you don't know about money, you're choosing to work until you die. You can't blame that on nobody else. That's on you. I'm not going to work until I die. I mean, I will. I mean, but it ain't work to me. I'll just be doing what I love to do until I die. Well, that means I'm traveling and doing some transaction or whatever the case may be. I just love to make money. It's fun to me. How about you? In the comments below, I'd like for you to share if you know, right? If you know one way that you can earn money while you sleep. What's one way that you know that how to earn money while you're asleep? See, what's very interesting, my people, is when I show people, I'm telling you, people are so fickle. They're so scared, so skeptical. They've been so conditioned. They only know one way. So it's called linear. That when you show them a different way, they're like, that can't be possible. Well, what do you mean it's not possible? I mean, millionaires, billionaires do it. You just saying it's not possible for you. That don't mean it's not possible for me. So it's a way that you can earn. If Warren Buffett, the third richest man in the world, says, hey, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, then you'll work until you die. I think we should listen to Rich Dad or Rich Uncle or Rich Grandpapa or whatever you want to call him. That makes sense, right? Study wealthy people. Well, what's one way that you know? You're saying, hey, I don't know it all, but here's what I do know. If I want to earn money while I sleep, here's one way that I can do it. So let's see here. Mary said, invest. Okay, we got Instagram over here with Jay's Beauty said, high interest IRA accounts. Okay. Vivian Reed said investments as well. Selena Spoon said investment. Now, y'all a little vague on the whole investment thing. Invest is a little vague, but okay. Invest. That's cool. Invest in what? Invest where? Stephen, Mr. Consistent, that's what I call him. Man. I can't even say all that stuff. Mr. Consistent says e-commerce. Yeah. You can have a e-commerce store that's open 24 hours a day and people can do business with you from all over the world at whatever time they decide to do it. Right? Selena said real estate. Yeah. Passive income, portfolio income. That's what we're talking about there. Ms. Stevens said a podcast. How many guys? I've been showing y'all this, by the way. That's in the BBC. How to get paid to podcast for free. Those that ain't part of BBC, you might want to join and learn what you don't know about money. Mary said, hey, buy stock, portfolio income, right? Yeah, Ally Bank is pretty cool. Yeah, so say JB say invest 15% of every dollar you make in your business into a savings account. Now, I'm cool. I get it. That's a good start. The savings account is a good start. Don't get fall in love with a savings account though. Okay, don't fall in love with a savings account. That's probably the lowest return that you'll get back on money is putting it in the savings account. That's not really. It's working. Interest is coming back to you. You become a little bank, a small little bank, but very very small increase on your savings accounts. Okay. Invest in property, right? Real estate, foreign exchange, podcast, right? So how many of you guys are saying, it's end of 2019, it's the end of a decade. We're going to the end of the decade. How many guys are going to listen to Warren Buffett, the third richest man in the world? And not only are you going to learn how to make money while you're asleep, but you're actually going to do it. Here's what a rubber meets road. Here's the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. Unsuccessful people hear the same message, but they don't do anything. Successful will say, oh, that makes sense. Let me do something about that. Let me go learn, get the knowledge, and then apply the knowledge and turn it into wisdom, which means I now am doing something with this knowledge. See, all you guys got some good answers. right? You got some good answers. That means that you know. That's fair to say that you know. Okay, yep, I can do this, I can do this, or somebody could do this. But that's my next question is going to be, well, what are you going to do about it? Right? What are you going to do about it to make sure that you don't have to work until you die? What are you going to do? Are you going to buy some stock, or are you going to invest in property, or are you going to take 15% of your business profits and put them into a high interest savings account? Are you going to podcast? Are you going to turn your hobby into a business, or are you going to open an e-commerce store? Is that what you're going to do? See, here's what I learned about most of us. We got good answers for everybody else. Oh yeah, don't shout me down because I'm preaching good. We got great answers for somebody else. But how many of us actually practice our own advice to other people? Uh-oh. Don't shout me down because I'm preaching good. How many of us practice our advice that we give to other people? We walk it like we talk it. Man, oh man. So that's our money quote of the day. If you don't learn how to earn money while you sleep, if you don't learn how to earn, everybody put guys, so learn how to earn. If you don't learn how to earn money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. That's right. Jay's Beauty said you need a stock class. I got a stock class. It's on my website. Yeah, I teach people about stocks. It's one of the first classes I created, how to buy your first stock in 7 easy steps. You can find that in the bookstore on my website. Matter of fact, let me just show it. Oh, you can't see it. You're on Instagram. Anyway, so I'm up at ERGJBlackBazaar.com. You go to Black Bookstore, you'll see my ERGJ University. And I teach. I got a class right there for you to pick up. Or I also have an investment club that I run as well. We're going to be opening up what is called open enrollments coming in January for those that want to learn with the group instead of learning on your own. That's an opportunity available to you as well. Okay, so we do have opportunities. It's just a matter of you putting yourself in position to take advantage of those opportunities. Of course, the Black Billionaires Club is a club. It's a membership. It costs money, but hey, I say this. You must be willing to invest in yourself if you want other people to invest in you. So if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to invest in yourself, you're willing to come to class, right? I'm willing to teach you. That's just how it works. I'm willing to teach those who are willing to come to class. All right. So let's get into our first topic, guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about church exploitation. That's right, church exploitation. So there's a story over the past 2 weeks, actually probably the past 3 weeks. And I was listening to it yesterday. I said, man, I'm going to talk about this at some point in time. Of course, I want to talk about Tyler Perry. I want to talk about a couple other things. But there's this tour going on right now. It's the Kanye West tour. And Kanye is on a tour for he does a weekly tour into some church somewhere, and he calls it Sunday service. Okay. So Mr. West came to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, that's where I'm at. In Atlanta, he came to Atlanta and he had his Sunday service at the biggest church in Atlanta, which is called New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, and who has a high-profile preacher named Mr. Dr. Jamal Bryant, okay, who's also been on like Housewives of Atlanta and all this stuff. I mean, just high profile. And when he came to his Sunday service, there was some high-profile people that came to church that day. Interesting. To see Kanye. Right, one of those people was T.I. and his wife, Tiny, and also Mike. What's his name? Mike Killer Mike was there. You guys know him, and 2 Chainz was there, right? And so T.I. This is a little so what T.I. shared, and you can check this out on his podcast, Exploitation or Exploit something like Explosive, something like that. Anyway, so he was talking about his experience going to church to see Kanye doing Sunday service. And he said he got there a little late. He said the church was supposed to start at 9:30. It's supposed to end at 11:30. How many guys know it ended at 11:30? Okay, it didn't end at 11:30. That's one thing I'll talk about too. Didn't end at 11:30. So he got there about 10:30, thinking, okay, I got about an hour. Probably service went by. They did all the preaching. They did all this stuff. Now it's time for who? Kanye. Now we know a lot of people came to church that day just to see Kanye. Although many people say, oh, no, they came to see God. No, they didn't. Let's just keep it real. that came to see a concert. Anyway, so T.I. said he got there late, and when he came in, they noticed who he was and who he's with, and they made sure that they made space for him up front. Now, T.I. said, man, as soon as this happened, he said his tentacles started to go. I said, wait a second, like I'm here late. Why am I sitting up front? Right? Can't be no more seats up front. I mean, I just kind of sit wherever there's open. But no, they made special seats for the celebrities, for the people who got money. And he said Dr. Jamal Bryant had just finished his service or his sermon, and he had just finished the offering that goes around the big buckets. Right? They don't have plates there. For a day like this, they got buckets. He said they got buckets. And the offering went around. They collected the offering. They did the service and all that stuff. And now he's thinking it's time for Kanye. Right? Mr. West is about to come out. Dr. Jamal Bryant got up on stage and he said he's got a special announcement because he's got someone special in the house. And he's thinking, okay, it's time for Kanye. Well, lo and behold, he brought another, I guess, famous preacher from Texas. And the preacher came on the stage. This is after Dr. Jamal Bryant gave his sermon and after he had collected the offering. Now it was a special service. And in this message from God, right? In this message from God, the preacher said, and I don't know his name, but the preacher said, I'm believing God that 20 people are going to sow a seed of $1,000 today. Now, T.I. gave him that look that only T.I. can give, like, what the monkey? And he started talking about how he was thinking in his head and all this stuff. He said, and Killer Mike was like, that's 20 bands, $20,000. And T.I. said he started looking around and started looking at people, and some people kind of making their way up to sow their seed or whatever the case may be. And he was thinking to himself, are y'all stupid? Are y'all stupid? Now, I know y'all probably like, what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about the exchange. And today's topic is really talking about the exchange. And I find that when it comes to money, many of us, it says there's a good quote, a fool and his money will soon part ways, right? A fool and his money will soon part ways. And how many guys have been in a situation where you've been the fool and your money disappeared from your pocket? Maybe you've been naive and you heard something, say, man, that seems like a good idea. Let me try it. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, they got me. You got to charge it to the game. T.I. was saying that, man, this is one of the main reasons why I stopped coming to church, because it seems like they're always trying to get in my pockets. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving. Of course, give, right? Give to the needy, give to the poor, give out of the generosity of your heart. But my goodness, 20 bands? Now, granted, this is the biggest church in Atlanta, and probably in the Southeast. Granted, they had just took an offering. Now it's a special offering because they have special people in the audience. And then we wonder why people disappear when logic hits. Like, wait a second, is this how this works? And then he was saying, I said that the pastor said, if you really want a special blessing from God, then you'll give today. What? Is that how that works? And I tell you, man, one of the biggest cons in our community is what goes on at some of these, I'm not going to say all of them, some of these churches. And one of the biggest cons, one of the biggest pimp games that takes place in our community, because how many guys, let's be honest, let's just talk about the black community for a second. I just like, can we have an honest conversation without people's emotions getting riled up because of what their beliefs are, and just really just talk about what you see. In the black community, we have more churches in our community than we have businesses that we own. Think about that for a second. We got more churches every corner. And I'm not saying that, hey, listen, every life, let's save every soul that we can. But my goodness, we got more churches across we got more churches than Waffle Houses. We got more churches than grocery stores. We got more. And then why does every church seem to be competing with each other when they're all trying to go to the same heaven? I'm just saying, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Somebody help me today. Help me understand this. Good morning to you, Mr. Justin. How are you doing, brother? Not long time no see. Right? So Jay's beauty Instagram said they will donate $1,000 in a heartbeat to say it's in the name of Jesus, but frown when they need to spend $20 from a product from their brother or sister. Right? So I was like, damn, so I'm just listening to the podcast. I'm listening to what he's saying. And I'm like, man, that's one of the reasons why I stopped going to the dang on building. Now, I still give. I still help people when I can. Many of you guys have been blessed by some of the stuff that I've been able to do and give in ways that didn't necessarily include a church. But the church, the exploitation of some churches on the congregation or on the community is rather absurd. Now, it doesn't make any sense to me how the preacher or the pastor of some churches is living like a celebrity while his followers, his disciples, are living in poverty. That doesn't make any sense. Now, notice this. I want you to understand this. Now, there's a Elon Musk, right? When he was building his company, which is a Tesla, SpaceX, and stuff like that. You know what Elon Musk said? Elon Musk said there were times that he was building his company that he would sleep in the building. Why? Because he said a CEO has no business going on vacation when his employees are working hard to try to keep this thing afloat. In other words, he was saying, hey, I'm going to be in the same position as those that are working with me. I'm going to work with them to help build this thing. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm above work because I'm the CEO. And I'm just saying, is some of these pastors above the people that they supposedly serve? Now, the good book says something like this: the last of you will be the first, and the first of you will be the last. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What does that mean? I don't know. I know Jesus also went to the temple or the church in his day. He turned over money tables. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did that happen? I think that did happen, supposedly, if you read the book. But the exploitation of the church on the Black community is downright absurd. And here's what I found. And again, it's not every church. I don't know. I ain't been to every church. And I don't care to go to every church because I got the Bible. That's just kind of what I need. But, you guys do what you feel. But here's what I found. That if you can get a mic into an influential man or woman's hand, then they have power or authority. That gives them some type of power authority. In other words, when someone has a mic, people will listen. And then now it's a matter of what they're saying, how they're saying it, the music that he'll put behind it, and how they can influence people. It's the biggest sales pitch in the world. To get people to influence people to do stuff with their money, their time, their energy, based off what I say. Is there any greater salesman in the world than a preacher? Tell me, show me one. Is there any greater salesman in the world than a preacher? Show me one. Now, of course, they're trying to sell people to go to heaven, I guess. They're trying to influence people to live a better life, I guess. But one of the biggest things they're trying to sell is how you to give up your money for a space in heaven. That's not how the book reads. Woo! Hey, JB said money ain't nothing to do with heaven. JB said you want to give, go to the community and give to each, right? Now, here's the interesting thing I found as well. That I can go to some of these churches, not all of them, some of them, and right outside the walls of the church are people begging for food. Right outside of the walls of the church are people sleeping on the corner. Right outside of the walls of the church, well, people actually got to pass by these individuals that's in the community to go into the doors of the church of the bourgeoisie, and they walk right by people who need what they got. You ever seen that? Now, isn't that interesting? The people who may need help the most get passed by so we can go have a community event, a social experience, and then we pass over them. We won't give them $1, but we get a church $1,000. That makes no sense to me. Somebody help me to understand this today. Somebody help me understand this today. Now, again, I'm not talking about every church, but I am just sharing my experience. I've been on this earth for a long time, long enough to see that that's crazy. That's downright idiotic, stupid, foolish. That make much sense. Got to have the biggest building, huh? Got to have the most elaborate building. Got to have a plane and the jet. Got to have a Rolls Royce. Got to have all that stuff, huh? Now, the good book said this. He said, hey, he said, the man came to Jesus. He said, hey, what do I got to do and get to the kingdom of heaven? He said, oh, follow these commandments. He said, oh, I'll follow those commandments. He said, okay, well, good. That's great. Well, if you want to be perfect, everybody put it down so perfect. If you want to go be perfect, here's what he said. Go and sell your stuff, your earthly possessions, and then give to the poor and follow me. Now, I have yet to go to a church and hear them talk about that scripture. Go and sell your earthly possessions. Right? Get the money for the earthly possession. Go sell it. Then give a portion of what you profit from to the poor. And then follow me. Now, this is interesting. Because if I got to do all that to be perfect, then maybe I wasn't following him to begin with. Maybe I wasn't following him, Jesus, God, to begin with. The church exploitation on a black community in 2019 is downright ridiculous. And we keep falling for it, just like we've been falling for a lot of stuff for a long time. That ain't the only thing. That's been one of the things, though. So, at any rate, I want to say my piece on what I read and heard from T.I. as he was talking about his experience going to a mega church when Kanye came into town, as Kanye is doing his church tour, and there's just seemed to be, I don't know, more exploitation going on, more getting money from black folk. I mean, everybody getting money from black folk, by the way. Everybody comes to the black neighborhood, even the church, to get money from black folk. When wake up? When you gonna wake up? I don't know. Not every church. I'm just talking about this one particular example that came up in across my feed over the past couple of days. Anyway, man, just church exploitation. Now, we're still talking about the exchange, by the way, and we're going to talk about the sex and money exchange, right? The sex and money. Everybody put in console exchange. And so I want to teach you a little bit. I not teach this often, but there may be some people that are joining today who've never heard me talk about this, but money exchange, the sex and money exchange. So the exchange, right? Money is nothing more than an exchange, right? It's an exchange of value for value. And so what happens is that if I have money, I'm willing to exchange this money for something that I perceive to have value. And here's what I found, predominantly around relationships and things like that, is that people, particularly men, are willing to exchange their money for something of value. And women, and people, particularly women, are willing to exchange sex for something of value. And then the two meet and say, hey, you know what? I'm a provider, quote unquote, and I got a little job, quote unquote, and I want to hang with you. And I've got a job too. I might want to hang with you, but you're gonna have to buy me dinner or something like that. There's always this kind of dynamic between sex and money going on between men and women. It seems like, and most of the time, obviously, I'm generally speaking here, but I'm just talking about generally speaking. And so, but the dynamic is the exchange, right? Right, the dynamic is the exchange, right? Men will go to a strip club, right, for the exchange of some type of sexual act, whether it be dancing on the pole, whether it be twerking, whether it be something like that. This is just like, can we keep it real today? Can we just talk about real stuff without people getting all offended? It's exchange, right? There's this one of the oldest professions in the world is the thing called prostitution. In the good book, they used to call it a harlot. And that was the exchange of sex for money. So it happens both ways. But what I found, man, is like, man, how do you, if we remove these two, the sex from the woman and the money from the man, is there Does it seem that it's difficult to actually have some type of real exchange that doesn't include those two dynamics? It seems very difficult in 2019 for there to be a real true building of a relationship or an empire or something like that if we remove those two dynamics, the sex from the woman and the money from the man. Can there be, what else can be exchanged? That's my question. So that there can be, we can take those two big elephants in the room and we can actually start to build a, a relationship of some sort that can be equitable. What else can be exchanged? Now, I find that, and I put this out earlier today, right? I put this out earlier today. It was a joke I put out, but it was very true for me. The woman, she says, I'm practicing celibacy, right? She says, I'm practicing celibacy. He says, well, I'm practicing savings and thrift, right? Well, hey, you ain't putting out, I ain't putting out. Can we still get together? Can we go for a walk in the park? Can we talk for a little while? I mean, mutual respect. Okay, good, mutual respect. So let me ask you this, Ms. Reed, or to the women out there, and I know the answer that you're going to give because we always give politically correct answers. But, I know that there's mutual respect, all right, from a woman to a man, especially if it's like the older man, like it's the father, the uncle, there's a family, or maybe it's a friend that has kind of been in your life for a while. I guess there's some mutual respect there. So that is a form of relationship as well. But how many really are saying, you know what, I don't, I'm not exchanging the sex and I'm not asking for the money, and let's just have a mutual respectful relationship. Is that happening in 2019, going into 2020 as we end the decade, right? Or what else can be exchanged? We take away, we remove the dynamic of sex and money as this exchange is happening between male and female. This exchange is happening. It happens every day, right? It happens every day. I mean, a lot of brothers go broke trying to impress a female so they can eventually try to get some sex. I mean, some cookies. But what else can be exchanged? What can we teach the next generation about this dynamic so they can begin to respect one another enough to forego those two areas, to have something else in common, right? And let's just keep it real. I mean, like, I don't know. So Vivian said friendship. Friendship is great. Yeah, I think that's, friendship. Well, is it that without the sex and without the money, it gets kind of boring? Is that what it is? It's like, we're not doing much, have we lost our creativity to be able to find ways to date or to go out and enjoy one another without having to spend a lot of money? Are we in a time now where you spend your money, I spend my money, what is it, Dutch? They call it Dutch. They used to call it Dutch, I think, where it's like, okay, we're just going Dutch. That way there's no expectation of other things. I mean, would you date someone who didn't spend any money on you? Women? Would you seriously consider a man who didn't spend any money on you? That's a great question to ask. Would you, and God, why can I talk about this? Because this is a Black Money and Power show. And money and power, right? So money is the topic of we're talking about money. Power seems to be where the power is, they say the power, the PUSSY, right? That's what it said, the power of the PUSSY. So money from the man. But would you seriously consider a man to be a potential partner for you if he never spent any money on you? Phoebe said shared interest. She said, I have. It's getting quiet in the church today. And I guess the same question to my brothers that might be watching. would you seriously consider? Would you consider? Now, I don't think it's a little easy because sometimes we just ain't got no choice. But would you consider a woman as a potential mate of yours if she never gave you no play? Is that a thing in 2019? I don't know. Things have changed, I guess, or more. Maybe they haven't changed. Maybe it's more the same. But the exchange of value for value, where men value sex so much, and I'm not gonna say that women don't value it as much either. But I just have found in my little time here on the earth that men value sex a lot and women value money a lot, or what that money can do for them. Get their nails done, get their hair done, take them on a date, or whatever the case may be. And then if there's enough of an exchange going on, if there's enough of the value given unto me, then I may just, give you the value that you want. But what other values are we looking for? What other exchanges can be made other than sex and money, or money and power? Now there's some, hey, let's keep going. There's some who will literally keep to themselves until they get what they want. It's like, oh, I know what you want. So I'm not gonna give it to you until I see that you spent enough money on me. Hey, why do we manipulate each other so much? Right? Hey, so the side said, man, short term, I would, but long term, we have to visit what all he brings to the table, just like I would have to bring something of value to the table. Okay. So what are you saying? That short term you could. All right. So you're saying in the interim, hold on. So in the interim, or in the short term, from here to a year or 2 years from now, I don't know. I don't really understand that whole short term versus long term thing, but I do get on the long term, you'd evaluate all he brings to the table. So let me ask you this. Let me ask this then, women, because I think I got women who joining. I don't know where the brothers at. They not saying nothing. If you say I had to see what he brings to the table, other than money or the provision, is what a lot of women that I hear talk about. Other than the provision, what other things would you want him to bring to the table? That's a great question. What other things you're like, hey, here's some other things that I want him to bring to the table. Now, I will say this, unity, protection from LJ Walker, family unity. Okay, so family unity is a combined thing, right? That's a two-way street. Understanding. Okay, so understanding, that means that I guess you're saying that means that you really want a brother, what's important, in order to understand, you have to listen. So you're saying, hey, a listening ear, someone that'll actually listen to understand instead of listening to reply. And I guess vice versa, right? Are women willing to do that? I was talking to a old friend of mine, an old girlfriend of mine this past weekend. Her son is my godson. And, I went after I dropped him off. We talked for a minute. She wanted me to do her a favor. And in the midst of her wanting me to do her a favor, we were talking. I was trying to figure out exactly what it is that she wanted. And then the whole time that I was trying to ask her a couple of questions, she kept cutting me off as if she knew the end of my question. And I kept saying, listen, like, you're not letting me finish my question and you keep talking. And so how can I convey to you what I'm asking you if you won't take the time to listen to me? Like, this is, and then what clicked in my head? I was like, oh, this is why we ain't together no more. Because you never listen to me. You always talking. It's just, yeah. I'm like, dang, you were trying. I was like, oh, Lord, and it reminded me of why, why we broke up. I'm like, oh, Lord, this is a flashback. You ain't changed at all. Anybody ever had that happen to you? Like, oh, Lord, you ain't, oh, Lord, I thought that, maybe a couple of years I may have changed some things. But no, you still the same. You're still the same. Still ain't listening. Still doing all the talking. Yeah. Let me go ahead and exit stage left. Find me old. All right. What's going on, Debbie? How you doing? So if you say at some point in the relationship, both will come to an agreement what is needed financially for family and for building. Okay. So that's financially and that's for family. So both will come to an agreement what is needed financially. I mean, obviously, let's not be naive. I mean, finance is a big part of raising a family, or finance is a big part of a relationship, right? But isn't that like finances from both ends, not from just one. Okay, support my drive like I would support his. Oh, let me ask you guys this. That's a great one, Shonda. So how many guys are here that are watching right now? You have been in a relationship, or you've been in a relationship where your partner supported your drive as you support. I think that's so important. That's so valuable. Wow. You're going after something, you're trying to accomplish something, you want something, want more out of life, whatever the case may be, and you're sharing this dream, or you're sharing this goal, you're sharing this aspiration, and then you get it to this person that you think it's team you, and then you just realize, like, wow, okay, I'm still in this by myself going after my dream. You don't really feel like they support you in your goals and your aspirations. For example, let's just say, for example, you're trying, like, for example, let me give you an example. So if I was in debt, which I'm not anymore, but say I was in debt and my goal was to get out of debt, then it would not make sense for me to be with a woman who all she wants to do is spend my money, would it? It doesn't make any sense for me to do that. Like, my goal is to get out of debt. Like, every time I come around, you want me to spend money. That's counterproductive for what I'm trying to accomplish. And if I've shared with you, hey, I'm trying to get out of debt, and you're still trying to go out on to all these places all the time, then it tells me that you don't really support me in my goal. Am I right? Actions speak louder than words. Right? Like, that's counterproductive. Like, I'm trying to get out of debt, you trying to spend all the money I got. That don't make no sense. That's not a good mix. That ain't gonna work. Not for where I'm at in life right now. Right? So are we listening to our mates? Right? As we are dealing with these things that we're going after, they're trying. How many guys are working on building your empire, whatever that may be? You're here today, you say, you know what, I'm empire minded. And when I say empire, you're working on building something for yourself, so that you can then, some of you guys are thinking about your children. If you have children, you're thinking about your children's children. If they're coming down the road, you say, man, I'm gonna turn some stuff around, and I realize that I'm gonna have to connect with someone who can actually support me, lend a hand, help, you know what I'm saying, listen, so we can, you know what I'm saying, we can build this thing together. Or help me as I build, even if you ain't necessarily participating in the building process. I think that's important. We must have somewhat mutual interest. Yeah, like, what about beliefs? How important is beliefs? Like, you believe this, like, you believe in going to church. I don't believe in going to church. We might believe in the same God, but I ain't going to church. You might want to go to church every Sunday. How that's gonna work? Or we believe in different gods. I don't know. What about beliefs? How important is beliefs and philosophy, and how you think and how you operate? What about education? I mean, are you if someone can help you think on another level, is that valuable to you? How valuable is that? See, I think that we have, what is it called? It says something about like a nose and a ring in a pig's nose. I think we have just really have devalued to the lowest form of value, being sex and money. Right? I think that's what happened. I think we have gotten to the point where we're so low in our value system that sex and money being, I believe, one of the two of the lowest forms of wealth. Because sex, I think, is a form of wealth. I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's something that's pleasurable. It's something that helps to reproduce. It's a form of wealth. But I think they're the two lowest forms, and we have devalued ourselves, and we've exchanged for the two lowest forms, and we get caught up in the lowest forms of wealth instead of some of the higher forms of wealth and prosperity and abundance. Right? Lasana Moore said beliefs is a big one, because if we want to have a family, we must be on the same page with how we are raising children. Yeah, isn't that important? Man, we talk about having, what is it, marrying the wrong person or whatever, and then you got kids, And y'all don't believe the same thing. Y'all don't believe in y'all. Y'all don't. One person want to get the switch. The other person say, "No, we're going to timeout." Like, wait a second. Like, well, how we got to have a talk about this thing. No beliefs, no empathy, no sensitivity. And so this morning, guys, I just wanted to have a brief conversation. Okay, LJ say, hey, for me, he got to be a Christian to be my partner. If he's just a friend, it's not required. Okay, so you got some standards. Everybody putting down those standards. Now, this word is so important because as you have standards, then I believe that you'll be able to connect with a higher caliber of person. See, when you don't have standards, you kind of connect with anybody. Like, oh, I just take what comes our way. And how many guys know if you live your life just taking what comes, you typically are going to get the bottom of the barrel. You're typically going to get not much. And this is how people live their life. They live their life from a connection standpoint, from a relationship standpoint, from a career standpoint, from a life standpoint, just taking what comes my way. No standards. See, I've been in a position in my life where I said no to jobs before. You want to hire me, but I don't want to work for you. Or I don't want to work with you. No. Not going to work. I got standards. Matter of fact, when I was talking to my godson this week, he's going to get his first job. And I was asking, well, where are you applying? I said, I gave him some ideas. Go apply at Quick Trip. Go apply at Chick-fil-A. Go apply at Publix. Why? Because those companies have standards. Right? And if you're going to be employed, you're going to work. You want to work with the best of the best. So you can develop some good work habits and work ethic and work standards and mission and value and all that stuff. He's like, oh, my father, McDonald's. No, don't do that. You don't want to work at McDonald's. I don't need you to get no standards. I need you getting the best standards. These are the molding years for you. Right? These are the molding years for you. So be careful, guys. Be careful in this thing called the exchange. And more so, I'm not just talking to you. I'm hoping I'm talking through you. That these conversations that we'll have about money, these conversations that we'll have about power, that you may be in a point in your life where you passed all that. But we want to make sure that you're equipping your children so that they develop on a higher plane, a higher level than quite possibly you and I develop, right? I mean, because we can't just keep letting the cycle keep repeating itself and keep repeating itself and keep repeating itself. We can't let ignorance be passed down to the next generation. We got to get past that. Hey, we got to get past letting ignorance be passed down to the next generation. As J. Walker said, for education, he does not have to have a degree, but he must have experience. I'm not going to be with someone who stands on the corner and never been nowhere. Well-traveled or been around different types of people is important. I don't like narrow-mindedness. All right, now, the standards. That's what I'm talking. She say, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I can do bad by myself, honey. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, that's it, right? I'm a guy that's like, you know, man, you don't necessarily have to have it, but you got to be, I think that if you have a willingness to acquire it or do it, I think that's a little bit different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because some people just, you don't know what you don't know. You haven't been where you haven't been. But if you have a willing heart, I think I'm kind of cool with that because, you know, we're still all learning. So, but at any rate, that's we're going to probably talk about this quite often or in some future episodes, the sex and money exchange. Because again, guys, we're this thing is rippling down to our children. And because of the sex and money exchange, we're starting to see kids having kids more often because of this sex and money exchange. It's happening more and more and more. Kids are raising kids. Now, I don't know about you, but it's hard enough being an adult raising some kids. Can you imagine, you young, dumb, and full of cum, and you trying to raise a kid? Can you imagine? Just think about that for a second. Now, women, I get it. You got to do it. You kind of got to do it because it's coming out of you, right? But just think about the boys. 15, 16, 14, trying to raise a man, and you ain't a man yet. Women, 13, 14, 15, trying to raise a woman, and you ain't a woman yet. right? Men, brothers, 13, 14, 15, trying to raise a woman, and they don't know what the hell a woman is. Women, 13, 14, 15, 16, trying to raise a man. And you're just now understanding boys. Woo! This exchange is serious. It's having a big impact on our community. But hey, they won't do different if they don't learn different. And who they gonna learn from? Well, supposedly the elders in our community are supposed to be teaching them, but our elders are now 40 years old. They just now becoming like that. You know, can you imagine you a big mama at 40 years old? You big mama, and you 40. I'm just saying, man. Woo, Lord. Woo, we got ways to go, man. We got a ways to go. Anyway, man, this is a Black Money and Power show, man. Just want to have a candid conversation with you guys. I'm gonna use this show to really talk about all things money. There's no holds barred. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've been a caged bird, just trapped. You know, I've been wanting to talk about stuff, but now I'm just gonna talk about it because it needs to be discussed, right? All things money. We can talk here. If you guys got some topics and things that you like to discuss, you're like, man, I ain't never found a platform. We just talk about this stuff and just have honest conversations because I ain't scared. I used to be a little scared. I'm scared about my brand and my image and all that bullshit. Nah, I ain't scared no more. I'm free. I'm free. Hey, LJ Watts, I'm older than you, so you got it or you don't. If you don't, now I'm out. You have time. I don't. Wow. Ooh. Okay. All right. Have realistic expectations. You know what? And that's so great, Asana. In order to have realistic expectations, right? The first person you have to have realistic expectations with is yourself. And I found too many people who have not got to the place in their life where they can be honest with themselves. And if you can't get to honest expectations of yourself, then how the hell are you gonna have honest expectations for somebody else? It's all jacked up. It's all jacked up. Because you don't have a real good perspective of life, period. Your perception. I mean, how many guys have met people that their perception of life is just like, what? That's how you think? Oh my goodness. Run, Forrest, run. Matter of fact, I gotta share this one thing with you guys. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So yesterday, okay, let me tell you this. All right, so the exchange. So yesterday I posted a post about a Black woman-owned business, right? There's a beauty supply store. And on the post, let me go ahead and clear this one out, and I'll finish it because I want to read to you how this conversation went. You guys can find it also on my Instagram on ERGJ Black Bazaar. But I found this to be very interesting. I want to read this to you because I really want you guys to understand. I mean, get it. Y'all seen it before, but a lot of times we just overlook it, right? So the woman, let's see if it's here. It may have got, because I blocked her. It may have got disappeared. It probably disappeared. So the woman came on the post and she said, well, I hope that they hire good people and they have good customer service because I hope they don't have bad. They got good customer service, don't have bad attitude because we tend to hire bad people into our business. Now this is after a Black woman that opened up a beauty supply store. So I said to the lady, I said, man, that's the first thing you got to say is something negative about how you hope this. I said, see, that the problem is not them. The problem is your attitude. You got an attitude problem. I told her straight up. See, people don't like people being honest. Oh, now she's going to get offended and stuff. Who are you to tell me I got an attitude? Listen, look, it's in writing. Like, this is what you wrote. She said, I don't have an attitude problem. I just keep it real. And see, this is the problem with Black people. Blah, 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 blah. This is a Black woman, by the way. It's a Black woman on a Black woman post. So, I had to, me, I just had to let her know, just very candidly, like you sound ignorant and foolish right now. You're on a post that's talking about a Black woman and her success, and you want to come with some old BS from your past experience. That's not that. Why is that needed? I say you might want to listen to Big Mama's advice, who says that, hey, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I just had to let her know, and then I had to block her. I said, oh, no, see, because y'all ain't going to pull, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to pull me down. You're not going to pull me down to your low level of thinking. Let me just go ahead and hit this block button, because this is just one of the most beautiful buttons they ever put on Instagram. Block. Yeah, nope, no more conversation with you. I won't have it. Block, block, block. Get that out of here. But I was compelled to share this with you guys, because this is what we tend to do. We tend to bring our past bullshit into something that's great and wonderful. And then we mask it. We put all this bad stuff on top of the great and wonderful when we make the great and wonderful bad in our eyes, our perception. Bad perception. Right? Why not just say congratulations and keep it moving? No, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. So I had to let her know. I'm just letting you know, man, if y'all need ERGJ to let somebody know, I will let them know in a heartbeat, because I'm a free black man. I say what the hell I want, when I want, and I'm probably one of the people that just keeps it real the most. I'm telling you, something happens when you get free. When you're not depending on somebody else to pay your bills or get that paycheck, and it's hard for them to say anything to you at this point, because that's the one thing they got on you. The one thing they got on you is that they can cut your lights off, or they can take your money away, or they can fire you at will. I'm telling you, when you get financially free, you start speaking your mind. When you get financially free, you get your voice back. When you get financially free, you feel like you got power like you never had before. I'm telling you, ain't nothing like being debt free and controlling your undoing for self. I'm telling you, man, I want you guys to be in that position so bad. But here's what I also understand, that you got to want it. Most people don't. Most people want to talk about it, but they don't really want to do what's necessary to get it. Most people want to talk about it, but they're not willing to do what's necessary to get it. That's just showing. I mean, listen, I said, what? The church, $1,000, people walking up giving it to them. That clearly tells me they don't want financial freedom. They'd rather stay wherever they are in the belief that they're doing something great and wonderful to help others and all this bull. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. Y'all better level up. Y'all better get some discernment. Y'all better read the book. It's better to know the book than to know the building, I'll tell you that. Oh, man, how you a Christian who ain't never read the Bible? Huh? Tell me that. I want to know. I just really want to know how you call yourself a Christian. You ain't never read the Bible, and you've been a Christian for 30 years, and you ain't never read the book. How can you meditate on the word day and night? How can you study and show yourself approved? You're a Christian, ain't never read the Bible. That's got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, y'all will get mad at me because I just tell the truth. Hey, y'all don't like that. Like, I'm supposed to read? Yeah, I mean, that's what it tell you to do. Read day and night. Meditate on the word day and night. Study. And you ain't read the book. In 30 years, you couldn't finish the book one time? But you done been to all these church services. You mean to tell me in 30 years, you couldn't finish a 300-page book at one time? Shame on you. Yeah, I done read a book 3 times, at least, in my life. And you ain't read it once? Come on, man. Who you fooling? I'm not no jive turkey. I'm not a jive turkey. Woo! Hey, my beautiful man, thanks so much for joining us here today on the Black Money and Power Show. Of course, we'll be getting into stocks. We'll be getting into cryptocurrency. We'll be talking about stuff that you guys want to talk about. Love and basketball don't matter to me, man. As long as it got something to do with money, I'll talk about it. I need to talk about Tyler Perry at some point. We'll talk about black billionaires as well. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today, something that, kind of spoke to you today. I just want to have an open conversation with my people, man. And hopefully we get to a place where we can get to honesty and we can start having these tough conversations. It's time, right? It's the end of a decade. We can't keep holding this stuff in. It's time to get it out. It's time for the cage bird to sing. What's something that you learned today? My question to you is was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? I am ERGJ. While you guys are typing, I'll let you guys know some things as well. Again, I want to say thank you to our sponsor today, which is ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric Marketplace, where you can pick up Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and then also Black art inspired gifts. Check out the website, man. When you get there, go straight on over to New Arrivals. You'll check out some cool stuff, man. Got new shirts, got new oven mitts, got new aprons, travel mugs, all types of stuff over here in their web place here. So you can go check out some new stuff at ergjblackbazaar.com, www.ergjblackbazaar.com, www.ergjblackbazaar.com. Once you shop black, beautiful people, you never go back. That's right. Once you shop black, you never go back. I'm ERGJ, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar. Also, we want to invite you not only to go check out Black Billionaires Club, but check out the website. There we do have a place where you can actually join the club. You want some help. You want some assistance. You want to get with people who are serious about building and winning with money. Well, that's the place you want to be. As old saying said, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. We believe that that's the new room for you, right? I'm telling you, you got to be uncomfortable with comfortable. That's the only way you're going to go. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get around people who will stretch you, who will help you to grow, who help you to think beyond how you're thinking right now. But you got to choose it. You got to invest in yourself, okay? You got to choose. You got to invest in yourself. You're in a poverty mindset is so essential. Hey, my beautiful people, I want you to remember this, that it takes a village. That's right. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.